All right, very warm welcome, everybody, to today's practice. Please be comfortable. I like to just give it about 30 seconds. People are still joining in, so. So today's practice, initially I thought I'm going to share a few of my perceptions, but now I have decided to put it in the form of questions. So today's practice is going to be various questions that I ask. But the purpose of the question is not for you to really find an answer. It's not like the kind of questions you get in an exam. It's questions to trigger your imagination. So I'm calling today's session Imagine. And of course, this reminds one of the famous Beatles song, John Lennon singing Imagine. And he's inviting us to imagine a different kind of world. And much of what we enjoy, like including whatever phone or laptop or device you're using right now, it came out of imagination, right? Someone imagined, could it be possible to have something like this? Such a hardware, such a software, such a facility, is that even possible? And I'm sure at every stage, somebody laughed and said, yeah, right, that can't happen. That's impossible. But then they went ahead and did it anyway. I think yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, when we now have charter space flights available. I mean, there was a time when people would have laughed and said, that can never happen. That's impossible. But it looks like it's going to become possible. For all you know, for some of us within our lifetime, we might actually get to visit at least the edge of space, if not all out space, isn't it? So that's an example of the power of imagination. Imagine. So today's practice, I'm going to be sharing some questions, and you're not expected to answer them. You just see what effect that question has on you. Every question will have some kind of impact on you. Questions are actually really powerful because they direct attention. So when I ask you, what is the place you were born in? Where were you born? So your attention wittingly or unwittingly went to the name of that place or the thought of that place. That's the power of a question. So by just moving my lips, it affected where your attention went. That's the power of a question. So for example, if I ask, what's missing? That evokes a very different feeling from asking, what's right? What are the ways in which you are fulfilled, supported? So it's really true that the quality of our life is the quality of the questions we ask. So today, let's ask some high quality questions. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to ask a question and then be quiet for a bit and just see what effect it has on you. Don't have to actively think about it. Just notice the effect of the question. So what's it like to live in such a way that when you lie down in bed at night, you have no residue. You have no sense of, oh, something is unfinished, or could have done more, should have done more, or that's not achieved yet, or that is still incomplete. What's it like to live in such a way that every night when you lie down in bed, you have a sense of it's complete, tomorrow's another day, but if I don't even get to see that day, it would be fine because I've lived well today. What's that like? I'm pretty confident every single one of us has had at least a few such days in our life, which felt really complete. Let's feel what that feels like. Last couple of days, I was experiencing this for several people in my life, actually. I was experiencing a lot of love overflowing in my heart, various different people in my life. And I was lamenting a bit how we live in a society where one can't always, I mean, one can, but usually one is conditioned to hold back and, not fully share how one is feeling about others, because it can be perceived in all kinds of ways. So I was just reflecting on this, and I got a message before this. Somebody messaged me and said that, Nithya, I've been wanting to share how much love is flowing for you, but I've been holding back because I didn't want it to be misunderstood. And then yesterday you read something about love. Day before yesterday you read something about how our love for others is actually just love for ourselves. And that's what enabled me to share it. So the question is, what would it be like to live in a world, to actively create a world where it's all right for us to let people know how much we love them? And love doesn't mean we have to live with them or we have to marry them. Love just means we love them. That's all it means. It's complete. What's it like to be in a society, in a culture, in a world, in a community where it's okay for us to not only share it, but to explore it and to double click on it, open it up, and to understand the nuances of it? What would that be like? Wouldn't that be amazing? Notice what this brings up in you. Just in your mind, maybe there's one or two or three people in your life who, maybe they're more, but let's just go with one or two or three, that you have experienced a lot of love for, but you haven't fully told them. So what is it like to, at least mentally in this moment, tell them, express it to them? What's it like? All right, next question. And this might be a little unusual for some of you. So what's it like? Imagine, what's it like to be in a world where there are no role models? There are no influencers. There are no religious figures. There's no sense of, oh, you should be more like this, less like that. What's it like to be in a world where no one even, I mean, the whole idea that you need to be different from the way you are is a very funny, it's a strange, in fact, this idea has never occurred to anybody, that we are supposed to be more like someone and less like someone. But the world minus role models, influencers, and this might seem strange to you, but yeah, without a world, without people that you aspire to be like, including religious figures, all that's gone. Notice what happens. Experience what it's like right now to be in a world like that. And I'll add one more layer to this. Even the idea that you should be more like what you imagine you should be, even that's missing. You don't even have an idea of how you should be different based on your own standards. Experience that. What's it like? Let's do another one. What's it like to be in a world where everyone sees this life like it's a place to, how do I say this? You see this world like it's a place to have a vacation. Like basically you have won a big prize to come to this world. And you can make anything of this life. You can choose to be, you can be adventurous. You can develop your power of intention. You can just relax. You can make friends. You can travel. You can become super good at something. You can even experience the different tones of emotion. You can experience what's sadness like, what's grief like, what's depression like. And it's very clear from the moment you're born onwards, this much is very clear, that you are here to do whatever you like. And there is no ideal about, oh, you need to be more adventurous, or you need to be more successful, or you need to be more rich. No such ideas exist. It's very clear that this is your vacation that you have earned for yourself. You're a timeless being. You have no age. You have no constraints. But you have chosen to enter a world of constraints. Because that for you is a vacation. A world of constraints is a vacation from a world of no constraints. This is actually your vacation time, and you can use it any way you like. You can become an alcoholic. That's fine. It's not bad to be an alcoholic if that's what you want to experience. You can become someone who touches many lives, or you can become someone who's a loner. And what's it like? Just consider for a moment that you saw this as a vacation for yourself. And there's no right and wrong way to spend time on this vacation. It's your vacation. What happens when we see life like this? And to add to it, that no matter how you live your life, there's going to be a huge after party after this life. We're all going to gather together and we're going to go over the highlights. There's an interesting new age teaching which says that there's a soul who wants to experience forgiveness, but how to experience forgiveness? So another soul says, don't worry, let's both die, let's both incarnate on earth, and then at some point I'll meet you and I will violate you. I'll do something you don't like, and then you'll struggle and struggle and struggle, and then finally you'll forgive, and then you give a high five. And that's what happens on earth. And once that earthly existence is over, then there's a big after party and you give each other a big hug. So, wow, you played your part so well. And the other one, yeah, you're so amazing. I would never have imagined you could have forgiven that, which you actually did forgive. That's incredible. Like a big high five. So what's it like? Consider the possibility that we're going to have a big after party. And no matter what anyone does, no matter how painful, hurtful, so-called horrible from our perspective right now, but from a cosmic perspective, from a timeless perspective, from the perspective of infinite possibilities, it's just one more thing that life wants to experience. So no matter how we live, we have a big after party. And we completely get it, of course. Of course you would do that. You would do that because I asked you to do that. What's it like to have that perception? And somehow it happens, we don't know how it happens, but somehow it happens that if you're attending this call, either live or recorded, a hidden part of your brain opens up. What is it like to be filled with interesting questions from this moment into the rest of your life? To be filled with fascinating questions, questions which shift your point of perception, your point of view, awaken curiosity, awaken wonder. Questions like the ones that you would ask in the first 3-4 years of your life before you went to school and you were told to not ask so many questions or not ask such senseless questions and be normal. Be normal. What's wrong with you? Be normal. Before you were told all of those things. So what's it like in this moment to reclaim your ability to question everything, to be filled with curiosity, to be filled with wonder, to be filled with fascinating questions that take you on fascinating journeys, not only in your imagination, but fascinating journeys in your life. So if you're willing, then right now, this capacity, this ability is awakening, blossoming fully in every single one of you, every single one of us. That's part of this call right now. And it's an irreversible thing. And your capacity to ask high quality questions is going to lead to an incredibly high quality life, incomparable to any other life. And that's my wholehearted wish and blessing for every single one of you. And if that feels appropriate, then take a deep breath and gently smile. And it is done. It is activated. It is done. It is activated. It is done. It is activated. Tathastu. Tathastu, tathastu. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Welcome to the new dimension, a life of fascinating questions, never-ending questions, exploring the countless ways to look at life and not neglecting to ask fundamental questions like, who am I? Who answers these questions? Who asks these questions? What is this? So may you be a connoisseur of high quality questions. Good. That is today's practice. Be well, everybody. Take rest. Good night.